I'm keen to work very hard with Prime Minister Johnson on getting the Executive and Assembly up and running again in Northern Ireland. I think that's absolutely crucial now and has to be a key priority for the next couple of weeks. And then we go on to the next phase of Brexit, which is negotiating a mighty new future economic partnership between the EU and the UK, and I think that can be done.
I appreciate the person, and we had good discussions, and I'm convinced that we'll be able also to be still partners for the future. So.
We expect as soon as possible the vote by the British Parliament on the withdrawal agreement. It's important to have the clarity as soon as possible. We are ready. The European Union will negotiate in order to have a close cooperation in the future with the UK.
The time frame ahead of us is very challenging. We will have to work as soon as possible. We will be ready to get the most out of the short period available. But for me, it is important at this moment to say that the United Kingdom, yes, will become a third country. But at the very end, we will have an unprecedented partnership. This is not the end of something. This is the beginning of excellent future relations between good neighbours. The time is very short. We have 11 months to negotiate a broad field, and it's not only about a trade agreement, but we're also speaking about education, we're speaking about transport, about fisheries, about sectorial questions. So many other fields are in the portfolio to be negotiated.
Deshalb möchte ich die Gelegenheit nutzen, Boris Johnson recht herzlich zu gratulieren zu seinem überragenden Wahlsieg. Damit dürfte jetzt auch klar sein, dass dieses Abkommen verabschiedet werden kann, sowohl von der britischen Seite als auch von der europäischen Seite, und wir uns dann den Verhandlungen zuwenden, die noch kompliziert genug werden, was die zukünftigen Beziehungen zwischen der Europäischen Union und Großbritannien anbelangt.
Well, first of all, big congratulations to Boris Johnson and all those Conservative candidates who work so hard. It's an extraordinary result, a powerful result. It marks the end of Corbyn and Corbynism, and that's a very good thing for the country. But more to the point, it gives us a very strong and decisive government and the opportunity to build the dynamic economy and the good public services that we need in Britain. And that's the most important thing of all, winning the trust of people that have put their trust in us, many of them for the first time, and Boris will have my full support as he does that.
Was this a Brexit election?
Well, it's an election about a lot of things, but obviously, people want a decisive government, a strong government that can get not just that done, but also deliver the dynamic economy, the strong public services that we need. A lot of people put their trust in the Conservatives for the first time, and I think Boris is right to say the job now is to win that trust, to cement that trust, to govern for the whole country. And Boris will have my support as he does that. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Well, I voted Boris because I believe that the people three and a half years ago who voted to leave, they should have respected that, and they didn't. So I voted for Conservative. I've always voted for Labour, as my mum and dad did, but this time it's Boris, because I believe he can do it, he can take us through.
Why do you think Labour did so badly?
Because of him. Corbyn. He's now good. He wanted to open all the borders and everything. He's no good whatsoever.
Because we voted for Brexit and they've ignored it. That should have been dealt with 3 years ago, that should. 3 years ago. They should have said, we're coming out, that's it, ta-ra. They'd have all been gone now. But still.
I've always voted Labour, but this one I voted Conservative. Because I think Boris Johnson's a better leader than Corbyn.
What don't you like about Corbyn?
His attitude.
Would have been Labour. I'm a typical working class bloke, that's it.
But this time, how did you vote?
Conservative.
Why was that?
Because Corbyn. Plain and simple.
Maybe if Jeremy Corbyn had been more decisive right from the start and agreed with Boris Johnson and said, yes, we're leaving, I don't think he'd have lost as many votes. He was indecisive and he lost votes.
Jeremy Corbyn, that's what he stood for. It's only one bloke who stopped in Jeremy Corbyn. Nobody likes him.
Do you want to think of Corbyn?
Don't like him. I don't trust him. I've got no trust in him, none whatsoever.
So I really like Boris. Yeah, younger and more energetic, and I think Corbyn's a bit too old.
I can't see Labour coming back in 5 years, you know. I think it'll be after, you know, another 5 years of Boris, I think that they'll be even more popular, to be honest. I mean, what Labour need now is complete change.